Would you like to know what grades I got while I was in nursing school and get an idea of what to expect from each of these classes? If so, continue to watch this video. Hey everyone, I'm your fave nurse B. So today I want to talk about what my grades were while I was in nursing school and also give you an idea of what to expect from each class, kind of give you my experience, if I liked it, if I didn't like it, and just an overall idea of how these classes were. Let me preface this by saying that I am an LPN. I went to LPN school, of course. It was a 12-month program. I graduated at the top of my class. Now, I do not want to do this just to like be bragging about my grades that I got freaking 4 or 5 years ago. I want to do this video just to give you an idea of what I got, my grades, and I just wanted to tell you what grades I got and also give you an idea of like how the classes were, how I got through the classes, what was my actual like experiences in nursing school, and I thought it'd be different to talk about my grades. But also I do want you all to know that before I went into nursing school, you all, some of you may or may not know, I have videos talking about my whole life story. Basically, I did not know how to read, so I was in 4th grade. I dropped out of high school, got my GED. So I had a lot to prove once I got into nursing school. So for me, like, I had to get the grades that I got. Like, it was important. Like, I had a big chip on my shoulder when it came to nursing school, so that's what propelled me to like really do well. But it's possible for anybody, and if you are like struggling during nursing school, or you're not getting the grades that you think that you should be getting, or you feel like you should be getting, or you know you're struggling, do not take this video as like me bragging or anything. I'm just doing a different video. I feel like it'd be different. I've never seen anybody do this on YouTube, but just know that it is possible for you to pass nursing school, to become a nurse. Even if you have to, you know, drop out, or if you get kicked out or whatever, you can go back to school and become a nurse. It is possible, and you have to just keep putting in the work and, you know, kind of assess, okay, what did I do wrong? What do I need to change up? Get the help that you need to move forward and to become a nurse. Sorry for the background noise. I got both my kids out there with their dad.
Yeah, ain't that dad?
Really?
Sorry.
But yeah, like I said, I had a big chip on my shoulder, and it was important for me to do well. So I think that's why I got the grades that I got. So like I said, do not take this, like, do not become discouraged by this. Hopefully this can motivate you all and give you more of an idea of what to expect while you're in nursing school. All right, so I do have my diploma along with my transcripts. We did 3 trimesters. Like I said, it was a 12-month program. I finished my program back in 2015. So the first class that we took was personal and vocational concepts. So basically this class was like a fluff class. I do feel like it was somewhat helpful. It was about a week-long class. We did it in the beginning, of course, the first week of nursing school, where everybody got to know each other. We talked a little bit about how to be successful in nursing school, just a little bit, and we told like our personal stories. Yeah, when I say not me though, everybody was going around telling their whole life story, crying, and I really needed to get into, like, I get it though. People was just like, oh my goodness, I just can't believe I'm here, and you know, this happened. It just got so emotional, yeah. Like, it was just like, whoa, this is crazy. But I understand, like, people probably really worked hard to get to that point, to be able to be in nursing school, to become a nurse, is like to see their dreams right there, you know. So people were very emotional. But we also did something that I think is super important, and I do have a video about it. I got a video about everything, which is we learned our learning style, and that helped people to get an idea, okay, how do I learn? How can I attack nursing material and be successful? So I definitely believe that you should learn your learning style before you get into nursing school, or while you're in nursing school. It'll help you to get a better idea of how you can study to be better and to get the grades that you want to get while you're in nursing school. So that was that class. I got an A in that class. I think everybody got an A in that class. So the next, and then we also learned like a little bit of the history, like, you know, Florence Nightingale, all that jazz, a little bit of the history of nursing as well. So then we started anatomy and physiology. So In this school, it was a technical school. Basically, they did your prereqs while you did nursing classes. Some schools do this that are not necessarily like technical schools or vocational schools. Some schools do this a lot of times for nursing programs. They want you to, AMP is considered a prerequisite. So you have to do this course prior to being accepted into the nursing program. But this program was accelerated. It's 1 year. So everything was built into the curriculum, and we did AMP for about 8 weeks. Pretty much all our classes were about 8 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks, just depending on the course that we took. So anatomy and physiology, you know, this course is, this is the class that a lot of people do not pass. I think we only lost one person during this class. Yeah, one person. But AMP basically, it tells you the anatomy and physiology of the body. What is the body made of? What does it look like? And then also, how does it work? So that's anatomy and physiology. It did not come with we did have a lab. We did have a lab. I got an A in this course. I really liked it. It was fun. It was very competitive. Like, this is where like the competitiveness of the whole program started, because the freaking teacher, we did like these mini quizzes, and she would say, oh, we got 5 A's today. And she would say, boom, got an A. This person got an A. This person got an A. So it made the class very competitive, which I kind of don't really know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know, because I'm an academically competitive person. So I felt like, I don't know if it made it a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know, but that's what they did. So yeah, anywho, got an A in that class. The next one was Fundamentals of Nursing, which around fundamentals is when we start doing clinicals. Fundamentals was cool. We had this teacher, y'all, he was hilarious. I miss him, Mr. Wing. Anywho, this class basically sets you up for nursing, the fundamentals of nursing. You learn a lot in this class. Some people say that, oh, it's just CNA work, fundamentals of nursing, but to me, it's not. Maybe the clinicals is more geared towards CNA work, like how to bathe a patient, how to change a bed while a patient is in the bed, how to feed a patient, things like that. But you learn like your actual practical skills as a nurse, like physical skills, clinical skills as a nurse in fundamentals. And this is where you start to learn how to answer NCLEX questions in fundamentals. This is where when people be like, I don't understand how to answer this stuff, it's because now your mind has to be turned on to be able to answer questions nursing school style or NCLEX style. And this is when we start doing NCLEX questions. And I remember we doing them, and I was like, we don't understand this, why are we doing it? But they were just getting us primed and ready to do NCLEX and getting ready for med-surg. And we would just do NCLEX questions like all the freaking time. And then also the teacher, I feel like he was good. Like, he showed us like you know how you do your initial assessment or your head to toe assessment. We learned how to do catheters, how to do IV, not IV, I'm sorry, how to do like G-tube medications, things like that. This is when we were introduced how to be like actual clinical nurses. It wasn't so much as far as like, so yeah, it was very like clinical based. I wouldn't say that it was really like a lot of critical thinking though, but yeah, it was a good foundation. Fundamentals of nursing. So anywho, that's that. I got an A in that class. The next class was Human Growth and Development. Can't stand this class. I think it's so boring. Oh my gosh, it's so boring. So basically, human growth and development is just showing the lifespan of a person from birth all the way into death. And you just learn about different things, different phases of a person's life. You learn about oh gosh, I don't even remember the freaking people name, you all, but like Maslow. Oh, you learn about Maslow in fundamentals, but you start to learn about what is it called, like the different phases of infancy going into adulthood. You all, I'm gonna put it somewhere here. You see, I probably didn't even learn it. It was interesting, but it was boring. Like, who cares? To me, it was more like theory than anything. It wasn't, I like to be able to know, okay, how does this apply? But it does apply because you want to know, like, what are the normal things that happen for a teenager? What is a teenager going through in their life versus a newborn, or versus someone who's you know, in their 20s or in their 30s. It gives you an idea of the psychology of a person based on their age and where they are and where they fit in their life. So that's that. This is I'm really glad I learned about it because it helps you to have more sympathy or understanding of people based off when you know their age or where they fit in certain parts of their life. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but this. So like the sandwich generation is that generation of people who are still taking care of their children still need them, but now their parents are getting to the age where they need them. So they're just sandwiched in between taking care of their kids, taking care of their their aging parents, and then also having to freaking go to work and do their own thing and still trying to grow up themselves, you know, even though these people might be like in their late 30s to early 40s. That's the sandwich generation. I don't know if that's the exact decades, but anywho, that's the sandwich generation. And I saw this a lot working in the nursing home, and so I definitely started to have great sympathy for people who were taking care of their loved ones, but I knew, okay, they're taking care of their mom or their dad that's here, but they still have kids at home they have to take care of, and they still have to go to work, and they're still doing this and that and the third. So you start to really understand your patients and also your patient's family and things like that once you understand human growth and development. So that's a good way to apply it, but we didn't necessarily learn that while we were in the class. So it was hard for me to just take the class and understand how I can apply it in a clinical setting. But once I got into the clinical setting, I understood why I took that class. So that's that. So I got an A in that class, and just so you know, that is typically a prerequisite for nursing school, and then there's a prerequisite for that class, which is psychology, but we did not have to take that. In the same way, anatomy and physiology, the prereq for AMP was biology, but we didn't have to take that either. So that's that. The next thing is I took administration of medications, which is really pharmacology. This class was a beast. I did get an A in that class, but that class was a lot of work. It was a lot of information. It took a lot of time to get through that course. I believe they changed it, so now you actually learn your medications while you learn about diseases, which it does help because you kind of learn them, you know, hand in hand. You get an idea of how the medications work in your body, and you also learn about the diseases and things like that. So I think that's how a lot of nursing schools are switching now. Let me know in the comment section if that's the case at your school. But in this particular program, we learned it separate, and I actually really like pharmacology. I think pharmacology is very interesting because it's a lot of information, and it's just like, I don't know why I like pharmacology. I don't know, but I really liked it because it's like a formula to learn it. Like, you just learn the drugs. Like, it's really not a lot of critical thinking in pharmacology. Now, of course, you want to look at signs and symptoms, things like that, but it's just like straightforward. Like, it's just memorization, really, with pharmacology. But I liked it. So that's that. And also I liked it because it started to teach us more about actual diseases because we hadn't taken med surg yet. So in pharmacology, we started seeing different diseases because you had to learn about a little bit about the diseases to understand how the drugs worked in the body. The next one was IV therapy. Now, IV therapy was a pass or fail. Either you passed it or you completely failed it. There was no A, B, C, nothing like that. So with this one, basically the teacher like fed us all the answers. Like, he had a whole pamphlet and he was like, let's go through all these questions and we're gonna go over the answers. And basically everything on that whole packet was on the test. Because like I said, it was pass or fail. But he did go over a lot of things. He talked about this is when we start understanding like what are the legal, what are our, oh my gosh, what is it called? Scope of practice as an LPN, because this is where it kind of comes in as to what an LPN can do versus an RN when it comes to IV therapy. Did we learn anything else? Oh, and then we learned about central lines and things like that, and how to clean them, how to be how to make sure that there's no infections with your patients, monitoring for infections, and we also did a lab on doing an IV. So that was fun. It was fun. I can't not remember. I did an IV. My first time doing an IV on a patient. I remember we were at the hospital and the nurse was like, the instructor was like, does anybody want to stay and do this IV? I was like, I'll stay and do it, you know. And the person, I think I told y'all this story. Well, she was coming in there for she was going through alcohol withdrawals. Like, so she was nervous, but she was still cool. Like, she still let me do it as a student. And I remember she had a butterfly tattoo. I don't know why I remember this, but I remember she had a butterfly tattoo. I got it the first stick. I was like, oh, I was like, okay, here we go. Like, I was able to get it the first time. She was nervous, but she let me do it. My instructor was there. She was cool. I don't even know what happened to the instructor, but anywho, we did it. I got it. I felt good. That's why I say in clinicals, say yes, because you never know what you're going to be able to experience. So say yes in clinicals and go watch my videos about clinicals. Everyone passed it. As far as the rest of these courses, I believe we only did. I'm trying to think. I think she passed A&P. I can't remember if she passed or didn't pass A&P. But I believe that we went from 30 students to 29 students after this first trimester. And then on here it says independent study. I have no idea what the heck that is, but I passed it. I think that's just something they threw on there because I don't remember us having an independent study class, but okay. Anywho, the second trimester we did med surg, geriatrics, and mental health. So the first trimester we did 7 classes. It's a lot of classes. So they put a lot on you in that first trimester. I guess they try to weed people out. Because what's the point of going on if you can't get through that first one, right? So anywho, with med surg. So as you can see, I completed my first trimester, all A's, passed all my classes. Yay, I did it. I'm that nurse B to B, you feel me? So I thought I was doing my thing. And then med surg came. All right, you all, I got the little person down here with me doing the video. Okay, so with med surg, I went in there. The teacher was real like, I'm finna get y'all. I think she was like very hardcore, very serious, and she was just that teacher. And I was like, okay, I'm that student. And we got into med surg. Okay, my head was all the way up here, y'all. I thought I had it together. That first test, she told us, she said, if you come to my class late, come late for this test, you will lose 10%. Your grade will drop 10% just from being late. That first test, guess what? I was late. Couldn't even do the test. She locks the door. As soon as it's late, boom, she locked the door. So we sitting there. She basically said that you cannot do the test until it's convenient for me for you to do it. So I did the test. Y'all, she took 10% off. So I believe that first test, I basically failed it. It's my first time failing. And I was just like, oh my gosh, are you serious? And I was thinking, had I just been here on time, I would have been okay. I would have got decent grade. But I failed the first test. Now this med surg will make or break you. Med surg is really your meat and potatoes of nursing. This is really where you start to understand how to think as a nurse. Now in fundamentals, you start doing things as a nurse, you know, just the practical stuff. But in med surg, you actually start to have that critical thinking aspect to it. So this is where you can lose some students. Things get real rough, things get real tough because you take everything you learn in A&P, fundamentals, human growth and development, pharmacology, you bring it all together because you're going to talk about A&P. You're going to talk about these diseases and how these diseases affect your body. That's where A&P come in. Because the physiology has now changed, the body is not working a certain way. That's why we're having these diseases. And then you get into the pharmacology because with med surg, you still got to understand these medications. That comes back to you. So it just all becomes like everything come together. And it's just like if you didn't get it in A&P or you didn't get it in fundamentals or you didn't get it in pharmacology, and then it comes up again in med surg, you're like, oh my gosh, like, I don't get it. So it's very important for you to learn stuff the first time in nursing school, but understand it's gonna come back. So you have another chance to get it and to really learn it. but you have to realize that nursing builds upon itself, so that can make it a little bit harder for people. But if you're smart and you learn from your mistakes, okay, I didn't get it this first time, this second time I need to make sure I understand it, then you'll be okay. All right, so that happened. That test pretty much brought my grade down completely. I got a B in that class. First time getting a B, I'm like, you know what, whatever, like whatever, I'm over it. I think we lost, I can't remember how many people didn't pass med surg. I think maybe 2 people, maybe, I can't remember. But anyways, she was an amazing teacher, very thorough, very to the point. She was like, she was strict, but she was also soft at the same time. Like she wasn't just like, it was like tough love type of thing. And she was respectful as well. Like she wasn't disrespectful. You know how some people are tough but they're disrespectful? She was not like that. So I really appreciated her. Shout out to you, Miss Lopez. It was tough. I'm not gonna lie, it was tough. But again, you start to feel like a nurse when you get into med surg, and those questions, you really have to start thinking like a nurse in med surg. The next one was geriatric nursing. I work in a nursing home while I was in nursing school, so geriatrics wasn't really that hard at all, because a lot of us were already CNAs, you know, while we were taking that class. So we saw and knew a lot of things in geriatrics, and the teacher, he was so chill and laid back. So it was a pretty easy class. But that was that. And then we had mental health, which I didn't so much really care for mental health. I mean, I thought it was actually, you know what, let me take that back. Mental health class was interesting. The clinicals were not. Oh God, it was so gross. We went to a mental health hospital and they had these different wards, and it just smelled like complete urine. It was so, look at this, she's so cute, y'all. It was so disgusting. It smelled horrible, and you would have to like have your back against the wall, like you couldn't talk to nobody. You was just like, oh, can we get up out of here? My teacher, she was so goofy and jolly, like she was just like, hey, like I don't know, I love her though, she was cool. Miss Lee, shout out to you. But mental health was actually pretty interesting, because you all, and they didn't even really emphasize this in nursing school, but pretty much all of your patients are going to have mental health issues. I'm just saying, that's just how it is. Whether you see it or not, a lot of times people, when they get sick, when they're in a compromised position, that's when a lot of things come up for them. Childhood things, traumas that they had when they were younger, money issues come up, that anxiety comes up. Oh my God, like, and it can really change a person being sick. So honestly, a lot of people go through mental health issues at some point in their life. And on top of having mental health issues, they'll also have some type of medical issue as well. So just keep that in mind. They did not emphasize that enough in nursing school, that pretty much all your patients are going to be mental health patients, especially when you start to take care of elderly patients, which even though LPNs can pretty much work in a lot of different settings, a lot of us do end up working in nursing homes or with the geriatric population. Now y'all gonna be distracted by baby. This is just how Nurse B has to roll, okay, y'all? Okay, so mental health was cool. I got an A in that class, and also I got an A in geriatrics. So that was the second trimester, and then the third trimester, honey, my third trimester, I didn't care. I did not care. When I came into the school, I was like, I'm gonna graduate at the top of my class. I'm getting all A's. I'm gonna show them who I am. Honey, once I got that B in med surg, once you get towards the end of the school semester or the school year, you're just like over it. You know, you had that senioritis and you're just done with it. You're just completely over it. I had worked full time while in nursing school, and I was tired. I was tired of being that student, okay? But I digress. We had med surg 2, which was pretty much the same as med surg 1, except that amazing, awesome teacher, Miss Lopez, she had to leave. We had 2 campuses, so I went to apply to take here in St. Louis. She ended up going to a different campus to help out their med surg program, or their med surg class, because we were passing. Mind you, we're the ones in the city. They look down on the people in the city, but this The other campus was in the county, da 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 da. People, I don't want to go to the city, I want to go to the county, yada yada yada. But they were not passing. They weren't passing Med-Surg. So they saw that we were passing, and she was the reason why we were passing. So they had her go out there, and they gave us a teacher who didn't even freaking teach Med-Surg. She was our A&P teacher, and people already had issues with her from A&P. No shade to you if you watching this, no shade to you at all. But she had never taught it, and she honestly did not have a whole lot of like clinical experience as a nurse. But I definitely think that she did her best job. Like, I really feel like she took it, she made it happen. Like, she did the best she could, but she never taught that class. And I'm telling you, this class, you have to understand Med-Surg. Yeah, you have to really understand Med-Surg in order to think like a nurse and to be able to pass NCLEX. And that's the whole point. We want to pass NCLEX, right? So, but I think she did well. I think she rose to the occasion, saying as to how she didn't have a lot of clinical experience as a nurse and she never taught Med-Surg. I think she did a good job. But we were pissed because we had such a good teacher during Med-Surg 1, and we just felt like, okay, y'all taking our teacher, yada yada yada. But it is what it is. Nursing school, everything changes. You have to be flexible. It is what it is. Get over it. Some people were like, we ain't passing because she not here. Honey, at the end of the day, this is your education. You pay for it. You better make it work for yourself. Make it work. Make it happen. Do what you have to do. It was interesting. I just feel like I really wish she was there because she has so much knowledge, and she was just one of those teachers where you just felt like she got my back. Like, she's gonna, like, you, I don't know, it's just, she was just one of those people like you felt comfortable with, and you knew that she was gonna do what was needed to help you to pass. Not like she was gonna just fudge the grades, but she was a teacher. She like actually taught. Got a B again in Med-Surg 2. And then we did maternal and newborn. Did not like that class. We did pediatrics. Did not like that class. We did nursing leadership. It was okay. So in the maternal child and newborn, I didn't necessarily connect with it because I didn't have children at this time, never been pregnant. So to me, it was just like, whatever. And I knew I wasn't gonna work in this field. For me, which is something I really need to work on, but it's hard for me to learn something if I don't see how I'm gonna use it. Like, if I don't see how it's gonna work for me, I don't get it. Like, I don't care, you know, like, I have to be able to apply it to something in order for me to really like be interested and do really, really well. Yeah, baby, I know. But I gotta be in that class. I didn't care about it. I felt like the teacher, she was okay. But yeah, when you take this class, everybody and their mama gonna tell you about their 8-hour labor, their 25-day labor. They, oh my goodness, I got C-dip, girl. Somebody kept saying she got C-dip the whole time. I got C-dip. I cannot make this up, y'all. We'll tell you about their kids and this and that and their grandma. When I was pregnant, this happened. They gave me this, they gave me that. Girl, I had to get the epidural in my back. The same stuff over and over and over again. I'm just sitting there, not pregnant, never had kids. I'm like, who cares? Is this gonna be on the test? No, let's move on. Like, I was over it. I really could not connect with it. It was kind of interesting, but I knew that I wasn't gonna work in that, you know, part, so it wasn't interesting to me. So I gotta be. Once again, I was tired too. Peds was okay. But again, like, I didn't necessarily connect with it because I wasn't gonna take care of kids, and I didn't have any kids, so I didn't necessarily connect with it. And again, people still told their whole life story when it came to pediatrics. I know, but I did like the clinicals. We went to a children's home. I did like it. You start to learn about the kids and, like, you know, what may have happened to get them there. And it was like really, it was a tearjerker. Like, it was some real stuff happening. But I liked it. We had a really cool laid back clinical instructor, so I liked it. That part of it, but once again, I didn't see how it applied to me, so I wasn't like thrilled about the class. So the next one was nursing leadership. This class, I feel like it was very beneficial because we went over like how to do your resume, how to write a cover letter, why you should write a cover letter, talking about professionalism, talking about like how to deal with other employees and how to be professional and conflict resolution, things like that. And it was actually taught by the director of the entire program. He taught it. Was he the director? I don't know. I think he was over the entire school district. He taught this class. It was okay. I got a B, which I should have freaking got an A, but you all, I was like I said, I was done at this point. So my last trimester, I got a B in all 4 of my classes. No A's, all B's, which is okay. I passed it. It happened. So that was that. Those are the courses I took in nursing school. Those are the grades I got in nursing school. Let me know in the comments section if you have any other video requests. What grades are you getting in nursing school? What classes do you like? So let me know, are you going for LPN or RN? Tell me how your classes are going. Let's keep the conversation going. And if you are interested in joining a community where you can talk to other nursing students, other prospective nursing students, people who are already nurses, go ahead and join the YourFavNurseB Facebook group, and also follow me on IG for daily inspiration and motivation and a little bit of education in this field of nursing. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace.